Alright, picking up from where we left off, we're just now getting into the actual university. So you know the scene, Deku's gonna walk into the room and be greeted with Tenya and frickin' Bakio just yelling at each other about, I don't know, I think Bakio is sitting on the desk or something. I don't know, kinda irrelevant. But we're gonna jump into that, little school life. It's gonna have math, history, science, whatever, until the end of the day. And then that's when they get to go outside, and Aizawa is like, put your gym outfits on. And they're like, okay. And then we get into the Quirk apprehension test. Now, I can see, I can see Deku still getting the ball because he kind of went crazy, if you know what I mean, on the robot portion. So basically, he's like, hey Deku, throw the ball. And Deku's like, oh, do I use my quirk? Oh, yeah. And he's like, yes, dumbass, use your quirk. So Deku winds his arm back, and the ball's kind of like hovering from like the palm of his hand. He's just gonna boom and just explode that shit. It's just gonna send the ball just zooming through. He's gonna use all of his telekinesis, and he's just gonna throw it. It's gonna be like, I don't know, what's a crazy amount? 100,000 meters? I don't know. That sounds like a lot to me. And everybody's gonna be like, what? And Baku's gonna be thinking to himself, Deku, I thought he had no quirk. Oh wait, no, fuck. Deku, he shoved me against the wall that one time. I didn't know his quirk was this powerful. That's what he's gonna say. And then freaking Minet's gonna be like, oh my god, this is so fun. And I was like, okay. Uh, do you guys want to get expelled? Because that would be fun. And they're like, let's lock in. Bakio, a little fired up this time because, he's gotten his ass handed to him from Deku and his telekinesis. Wants to try and prove that he's big dog. I'd just say he just goes a little bit further than, in canon. I don't know what he did in canon, but, get a little bit further. And then everything will be kind of the same. I feel like Deku with like the sprint can just kind of like propel himself and like fly. For grip strength, he uses telekinesis to just kind of like remember Mob Psycho, how he just bends metal and bends spoons. There's strength to it. He just grip strength. Let's just say he breaks it for gets and shiggles. So he breaks that. Standing side jumps, I don't see his quirk really helping him with that. Standing long jump, he just propels himself. Like when during the robot portion, he just slams the ground and freaking sends himself flying. Yeah, yeah. That's how I see that portion going. And I don't like Mineta, so Mineta got expelled because Aizawa was not playing no games this time around. So freaking Mineta got expelled. Sucks to suck, dude. All right, moving on. We're gonna get through a little bit more. I think it was like another week of school. And then we get the iconic, I'm running through the door like a normal person. All Might just bursts through. Everybody's like, oh my god, it's All Might. And he's like, put these on, because the clothes make the pros. Low key, fire statement. Now, they're going to put all their uniforms on, and I kind of want Deku just to, like, be dressing like Mob Psycho. They're going to, like, kind of wear, like, picture, like, his middle school outfit. And he's just going to be like, oh, well, I don't know. I like the style of this because Deku he grew up reading Mob Psycho, so, a little inspiration. But they end up going to like I think Training Ground Gamma. Was that what? Right? And they're gonna do the battle trial arc, and it's gonna be Deku and Ochako versus Bakugo and Ito. It was Ito. Okay, I have to remember. I'm kind of like just going off the dome with this, but basically Deku, Ochako, they're gonna be the heroes. They gotta go grab the bomb, etc. So they're gonna charge in there. Deku, he's a smart guy. He's gonna formulate a plan. He knows Baku's gonna charge after him, like in canon. Baku just he got that aggro. You know what I mean? He can charge him. I don't know. I feel like it'd be funny if Deku got slammed into a freaking wall again. He's gonna come around the corner and be like, Deku! And Deku's just gonna be like, whoop, and just Baku goes flying through like 3 walls. That's just gonna royally piss Bakugo off. So Bakugo's gonna Now this is where it gets great. Baku's gonna take that grenade and blast the explosion. Like it's gonna go and a big wave of flames are gonna come at Deku. Now Deku's gonna get hit by this and it's gonna like swirl around him. And now this is where Deku's quirk is like kind of like Todoroki's. Now, what I'm picturing with Deku's quirk when I'm telling the story is, if you ever watch Fire Force, where it's pyrokinesis instead of like fully telekinesis, but Deku can't produce his own fire, but he can manipulate other flames. So now that there's an open flame coming straight at him, it's gonna spiral all around him, and Deku's hands are gonna catch on fire. And like Deku's gonna be like, "What is going on?" And he's gonna like, "What? This isn't burning me at all." And then he's gonna get like a devious grin. Bakio's like, "What? How did that not hurt you?" And Deku's gonna run in and give him straight hands. He's gonna use telekinesis to like move his body. Deku doesn't have like the most muscle. That's why he's gonna use telekinesis similar to Black Whip at the end of the show to just move his body on his own. So he's gonna be slamming punches. Picture like how Tsunade and Sakura use chakra to like make their punches go crazy. That's what Deku's gonna be doing with telekinesis, and he's gonna like wham into like the side of freaking Bakugo. Bakugo's gonna do that iconic, I think it was like a right hook. Deku's gonna go underneath it, slam him down, and just bah bah bah, and Bakugo's out. Bakugo is knocked clean out by this like flaming telekinesis power, the pyrokinesis. And so Deku's going to take the opportunity to cuff him. Baku's out of the count, and Ochako, during this whole thing, has been making her way up into the room where the bomb is, and then Ida's going to be like, "Oh, I see you've come to try and steal the bomb, hero. But I've been waiting for you." Ha 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 ha. Ida's totally playing the part. Like, Loki, kind of how I picture myself when I do what ifs. Now I'm getting into it. Just like, I don't know, like goofy, but like, I don't know. It's fun. But that's gonna kind of happen like in canon. Deku's gonna come up to help Ochako. Now Ochako's gonna be like trying to get to the bomb, and I can see Deku just levitating the bomb up and just bringing it right to Ochako. And Ochako touches it, and Ida's like, "What? Is that even fair? How is the bomb moving?" And then he sees Deku. He's like, "Bro." But yeah, that's how it's gonna. That's how that's gonna go. Then they're come down. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I wonder who the MVP was." And they're gonna be like, "It was definitely Deku because he just clobbered back." And then Momo would be like, "No, actually, it was Ida. Ida played the role." But like, shut your bitch ass up. Nobody cares. All right, so that's how the battle trial goes. And then okay, and more school, yada yada yada. Nobody cares about that. And then they're like, "Hey, let's sign these permission forms for the USJ." Now, the USJ is gonna be fun. They get to it, freaking black hole lady's gonna do her terrible speech per usual, and she's gonna be like, "Okay, there's villains now," and then the freaking villains are gonna pop up everywhere, and I can see everybody getting teleported where they do in normal canon. I thought I was gonna be in the center fighting all them all, and now the one change is it's just gonna be Froppy and frickin' Deku, because I expelled Mineta. So they're gonna teleport to the water zone, and the way I see this is Froppy's gonna save him per usual, and Deku's gonna levitate them both up. They're both kind of gonna be flying with the telekinesis, and Deku's gonna like just create a whirlpool instead of punching the ground. He's just gonna use his telekinesis to make a whirlpool, and they're all gonna get sucked in, and then they'll just fly to land. And now once they fly and land, I can see Deku like in canon trying, because Deku, he's a hero at heart. I mean, if he didn't in canon, Deku, Sludgeville, and Tax blah blah. That didn't happen in mine. But that just shows the type of character Deku is, and Deku's that same character. So Deku's gonna join in. As I was gonna be like, "Kid, you're gonna get yourself killed." Deku's like, "I know, but I can't watch you die. Ah, I'm being a hero." You. And so they're gonna like get through it, and then they're gonna be like kind of cooking. Dude, I feel like Aizawa would have a good like. He's canceling everybody's quirks. fighting taijutsu. I'm gonna say Naruto. Fighting with like fighting style, and then Deku's like just slamming them all around. And that's when Shigaraki's gonna be like, Kurogiri, bring me the Nomu. And then Nomu comes in, and Shigaraki's like, Nomu, kill the brat. And the Nomu goes straight for Deku. And Deku's not ready. The Nomu straight up body slams Deku. Now Deku created a thin little, telekinesis like shield in front of him that he got flung regardless. But this prevented the Nomu from actually damaging his body by ramming him and breaking ribs. But Deku still goes flying, and he's able to cushion his fall a little bit, so he takes minor injuries. He's bruised, but nothing's broken. He's like, "Oh my god, what?" Like Deku's in shock because one, it looks like a freaking monster. Two, it has multiple quirks, and even though Aizawa was canceling his quirks, Aizawa was looking at it, it still did that to him. So Deku is like, "What the actual hell?" And that's when Bakugo comes flying in, like freaking like blasting. And that's when he grabs onto Kurogiri per usual. It's like, "Ha! You're not going nowhere, freaking poor guy." And Deku, he has a flashback to the training arc, and he's like, "What? I remember I was able to use flames." And so, being in enough range, he steals some of Bakugo's flames and completely powers up his pyrokinesis. And he starts swirling a tornado around this Nomu. And then the flames start growing in it and growing till we have a giant freaking flaming tornado. While freaking Aizawa is also canceling the quirk of the Nomu, the flames are just eating the Nomu alive. Kind of like Endeavor in Hoshu City when it's like frying the Nomu alive. That's what I see. Ida escaped per usual to go get the heroes, and by the time the heroes arrive, freaking All Might comes in, and the Nomu's like half dead already. I mean, it's already basically half dead, but it's so burnt. And then Deku like is like, okay, they're here, and his body just gives out. He's not used to this speed. He's not. He's the main character, but he's not the main character. You know what I mean? He don't got that main character energy just yet because the flames are. He doesn't know how to control them fully yet. So it's a big strain on his body. He just learned it, and this is his only second time using it. So he's like worn out from these flames. But as soon as he lets go, the Nomu is like on its knees and All Might in a freaking rage. Just starts doing the infamous punches. And it takes much less. It takes like, he did what, 100 punches last time? It takes like 20 punches this time. So All Might isn't as like fried. But I think All Might gave one for all to Mirio. So he's still just Embers right now. But so he was Embers in the last one, and he used a lot more of it during that, so it nerfed him a lot more, but he didn't use as much, so he's still pretty strong, All Might. But yeah, that's how that's gonna go. Deku's completely passed out. He's gonna be passed out for like the next week. Deku's gonna wake up in a hospital room like, after like a week, and he's gonna be like, "How long was I out?" And freaking Inku's gonna be there. And he's like, "Oh my god, Deku, you were out for a whole week!" And Deku's like, "What?" I low key gotta keep pausing, bro. I keep sneezing. But yeah, but Deku's out for a week, and school was kind of like canceled for a little bit following the USJ because, well, one, villains just broke into a hero facility. They need to like upgrade their security. So Deku just rested. And as soon as he woke up from that, bro started training. Like now that he knew about like the fire and stuff, he keeps like a matchbook on him, and so like he's been training with like controlling the fire because it's honestly it's OP. But yeah, that's how I see that going. And I don't. Nobody dies per usual. I just feel like the whole USJ incident is like smoother. They didn't end up capturing anything but the Nomu because Kurogiri and Shigaraki kind of just dipped out of there. So they weren't able to get. They left the Nomu behind. Kind of similar to like when they All Might blew the Nomu freaking million miles away. But yeah, they got that. And the the sports festival is what I'll be talking about in the next part. But yeah, I think that covers up the Quirk Apprehension exam, the Battle Training arc, and the USJ. And I think I did pretty well. I think Deku's not too crazy right now, but he's balanced. I like it. I feel good about it. And the reason I did fire is because his dad has a fire quirk, and the mom has telekinesis. And like I was saying, I think I think I'm rewatching Fire Force right now because the final season's coming out. I read the books, phenomenal. Probably one of my favorite manga animes. But I don't know. It's kind of like the second gens where they can manipulate fire, but only if fire is produced. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'm going for. That and Mob Psycho. Yeah. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.